hate XSplit so bad. There we go. All right, guys. Welcome to the stream here. Been a while since we've been, I guess, gaming. We finally received our internet from one of our players, and our player left for India. So, been a couple weeks since we've been able to game, and we want to welcome you guys back to the stream. So, real quick before I get into introductions, the last time we played, we obviously had some technical difficulties, so we played for about 15 minutes or so. So if you're watching this video later on YouTube, we had about 15 minutes of gameplay or so where the players were ultimately talking to the Queen, Queen Neri, and, Queen Sarissa, and they ended up traveling to Loudwater, and that's when we kind of ran into some technical difficulties. So that is where we will pick up. And as always, we have our four brave adventurers with us. We have Philip playing Cesare, our human Valor Bard.
Hi, hi.
We have Brandon playing Bran, our Totem of the Bear Barbarian.
Hello.
Half-orc. Daniel is playing our Elvish Rogue Assassin Rivermire. And Mr. Chris is playing Malachi, our Circle of the Land Druid. See, I didn't even have to... Dwarf. I didn't even have to ask you guys what you were playing this week. All right. So, where the party is at is in Loudwater at the moment. You guys have just been dropped off, if you will. Not in Loudwater. Excuse me. Mirabar, right?
Everlund.
Everlund. Damn it. Everlund. Of course, Everlund. Because you guys were going back to the Harpers. So you guys are in Everlund, and that is where the Queen basically dropped you guys off. And you have been given a golden coin. Coin with a painted golden goose on one side. A very strange, unique-looking item. And the only information you were given from Queen Sarissa is that the coin was found next to her mother's body. And that she believes whoever assassinated her mother has probably killed her father, captured her father, done something with him as well. So whoever's behind the disappearance of her father was probably also behind her mother's passing. And so she believes that this coin is the key, ultimately, to finding out who that is, though she doesn't have a clue on where this coin might have come from. So that is where we will pick up, guys. So you guys have just... made it into the town of Everlund, and you guys has since approached up to the gates, and you guys enter into the large city. It's a quiet day, and not many people are out on the streets, which is kind of strange for, you know, about 11, 12 o'clock or so that you guys have made it to the city. Where would you guys like to go?
Where are we right now?
You guys are in Everlund, which is basically the encampment that you, or the town that you guys have met up with Rowan and the rest of the Harpers in the Harper Tower.
Right, but like, what street are we on?
You guys are just inside the main gate. You guys have, she teleported you guys outside of the city. She didn't try to teleport you into the city, being a storm giant. Probably wouldn't have behooved her to do so.
So Elm Street, Everlund Place. Got it.
Do you really want a street name?
I do.
You're on First Street.
Can I get the address?
I know. You're on 527 Fuck Off Lane.
Can I open a PO box here? I feel like I do a lot of traveling. It'd be nice to have roots.
Buy a house and farm.
Do we have enough money to buy a tavern yet, Cody?
None of you should ever be allowed to own a farm.
That is, no true words have ever been spoken.
About a dairy.
Yeah, that's cool. We have some great ideas what to put in our cows.
We do.
All right, guys. Let's head to an inn and see if we can maybe make some plans here before we meet with Crone. Make sure we have a united front when we approach him.
Wait, who's talking, Chris or Malachi?
Malachi.
I agree with which has been a constant problem for the rest of us.
Fair.
Chris. I agree with the dwarf. Let's get our bearings, have a couple drinks, and maybe even taking some of the nightlife before we go back out onto this non-stop fuckery that has become our lives.
Last time we were here, there were a couple doppelgangers. Hopefully they didn't take over the entire town. Watch your back.
Oh shit, that's actually a really good point, Bran.
Yeah, wise words.
How do we even... Hold on.
I think you just
Desiree.
get really drunk, and then we'll be fine.
Okay, detect magic.
I don't think I can.
Well, you can certainly
I get
do it
it.
as a ritual.
Oh, is it druid spell? For some reason, I thought it wasn't a druid spell. All right. It doesn't move with me though. It's just in the radius of detect magic. So I'll only find it if we're immediately surrounded by doppelgangers, not like.
It's a ritual. Just
Who said doppelgangers are magic?
It's a fair point, but.
Are
I'm
they like
pretty sure that
living,
Rivermire
breathing
would-
creatures that we cut the heads off of last time?
Rivermire wouldn't
That's
know
the
that.
thing.
they're...
Rivermire wouldn't think that they're magic in the first place.
Fair.
Hmm.
Let's go to the inn, and I can make sure that we're not surrounded by them with my detect magic when we get there.
Are there any people around, Cody?
No, the streets are strangely empty as you guys kind of make your way into the city. The guards don't really say much to you outside of the initial kind of recognizing you as having traveled in here before, and possibly even knowing that you guys are working with the Harpers, as you guys have been seen around, and obviously you've talked to the guards, spoken with the guards very recently during the doppelganger attack. So they do let you in, but they don't seem to bother you much.
I want to ask
Is
the
it-
guards if I want to ask the guards at the main gate, seeing as they're the ones who see most of the different things that come into the cities, if they've ever seen the coin before.
So you approach the guards and you kind of bring up the coin, and neither of them have seen it. One of the two guys says, "Kind of looks like a chip more than a coin."
Good.
That's right, Rivermire. Didn't you recognize this chip from your gambling days?
Well, I can tell you
It
that
was
it is
February
not
that did that,
a chip
wasn't it?
from Waterdeep
Or the Moonshine Isles.
or the Moonshine Isles.
Yes, but at the same time, you're also forgetting that in my line of work, that people generally leave some sign to show that it was them calling. That's what I'm worried about. Her mother was assassinated, and this was left.
You know,
Or it could be a
Rivermire,
false lead.
I actually don't know that much about your line of work. You're very sneaky and mysterious.
It's quite simple. It's just arrows and gold and blood.
You do yourself too little credit, my friend. To the tavern.
To the tavern.
And as you guys round the corner and kind of come into the main market square, you see a small group of dwarves kind of standing there like this and arguing with some of the town guard.
Do I recognize what kind of dwarves or where they might be from or anything about them with my dwarvenness?
I tell you what, roll me a... just give me a straight intelligence check.
Yeah, forget about it.
Can I proceed?
Sorry, that's a straight.
Forget
Arguing about?
-4 from that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So as you approach, you don't recognize them, Malachi, but Rivermire, you're picking up hints of the conversation already, and you can see them saying, "It's just not right. You can't just shut down the square. We have trade to do." And you see a captain, and you can tell from his dress, kind of standing there. "Now settle down, folks. This is for your own safety. Trouble has been about as of late until we can get... It's just not right. What are we supposed to eat? If we can't have trade, we don't eat." And they're kind of going back and forth where this commander, this captain, is trying to calm people down, and the dwarf is getting louder and louder and louder.
I'm gonna step up, and as I step up, I'm also gonna like tap Cesare on the shoulder to like come with me because he's more charismatic than Rivermeyer, and I'm gonna dig out my Harper token. Gentlemen, there's seems to be a misunderstanding. The guards are truly doing this for your safety. However, guards, you must understand that the dwarf is right. Without trade, his family goes quite skinny.
Both of them kind of look over at you like, excuse me? Oh, and I guess a big pointy-eared elf is going to tell us how to run our guilds. You're just as bad as Horrocks. That is Captain Zor. It would behoove you, Boldor, to understand that. Oh, you go by my first name. What are you? You afraid? You afraid, huh?
Cody, I just heard that this dude's name is Boldor. In my various travels and generic sort of low living, do I have any idea what kind of dwarves these are?
Well, I mean, you can tell from their dress that they're not well armed. You can tell that they look like they are actually clothed pretty nicely. They kind of give the appearance of merchants.
Okay, anything, any kind of signifying things on them that I could make a guess about who they are or where they're from?
Nothing but the one dwarf that's kind of yelling back and forth at the captain has this weird feathered stick that's really ornate, kind of hanging from his belt. And you know, you've actually seen something similar to this in your travels, signifying a guild leader.
I'm sure not all trade is bad. How about you just trade in the streets?
And you can see the dwarf kind of look over. You see? Even the half-orc has sense that trade is important. Now, Boldor, please. Calm yourself. It is only for a few days. It's been 3 weeks since we've been having the trouble. And now, for the last week and a half, you just shut us down. We can't take it much more. We'll be leaving. We'll be leaving to Mirabar if you don't get your shit straight. The attacks have been unexpected, and we have been working through as much as we can. We believe that the nuisance, the problem, is resolved, but after 3 more deaths, we have to be safe. Surely you don't want your merchants to wind up like the others. Bah, we can handle ourselves. Please, be understanding, Boldor. A few days longer, just to ensure the safety of the citizens. At this point, you guys hear a and right next to you, you see a long-bearded and well-dressed Crowan standing at your side. At his sudden appearance, you can see everybody kind of hunker down and kind of a little uneasy and nervous. Crowan, what do you want? I've come here for my friends, who are searching for answers, I believe. Tell me, how are your travels? And he's looking over at you guys.
Awfully dry.
I do not even know where to. It is a very long story, Crowan.
Yes, well, I believe I might know a bit more than just nothing, but there are certainly some parts that I might need filling in on. Perhaps you would escort me back to the tower.
Very well.
A thirsty tale. Perhaps we could stop along the way.
Our dwarf needs to be refilled with wine.
We can do that. Just a moment. And he hands you all the 4 flasks. Like you guys had to drink the last time you went into the tower?
Oh yeah. I take a swig. This isn't wine.
No, but much better than wine, in my opinion. Do all of you drink?
Treasury rolls his eyes and squirts some wine into Malachi's flask and hands it back, and then downs his own.
Oh yeah, I drink it.
Excellent. And my elvish
Oh,
friend.
yeah. I've already
Wonderful,
done
wonderful.
it.
Okay. And we're off. Easterbruchen, and you guys appear back inside the tower just that quickly. So, tell me of your travels. Tell me of Loudwater. From what we could tell, it was very disconcerting.
That water has been overrun by the Zentarine. This is probably no surprise. They seem to run with a free hand. The giant attacks, while seemingly random, do not seem to have ravaged Loudwater, at least not until we got there. We eventually, through a series of farcical circumstances, learned that the giants had been attempting to... Hey, wait a minute, is that gnome still with us?
Yes.
Through a series of near farcical circumstances, did he, like, come into the tower with us?
Yeah.
So, okay. Through a series of near...
Did Crowan make him drink?
Yes.
All right, continue. A series of weird...
Near farcical circumstances. By the way, Crowan, this is the gnome. Gnome, this is Crowan. I'll explain later. Anyway, the giants had been preparing to attack.
It's Elster. This is a marvelous tower. Yes, well.
Quiet down there, Elster.
Yeah, we're all staring daggers at Elster. There is... So, Crowan, I'm not even completely sure where to start. Is there a waitress in here?
No, but he is walking you guys slowly down the stairs to that kind of common room in the Moongleam Tower that you guys have been to before.
Is there a really well-stocked, like, high, top-shelf liquor cabinet in this common room?
No, it was just basically a cafeteria.
Is there a large keg of cheap ale?
There was quite a bit of ale piled in the corner.
I elbow Bran and head towards it.
I follow.
Crowan, it's been a long couple... What was going on out there? The guards said that they believe that the situation has been resolved. The dwarfs, I'm sorry, small gnome, the dwarfs, they have been shut down. It seems like this place is under martial law, but it seems as though everything is peaceful. What has happened to
There
our...
have been a few disappearances that we believe were tied in with the doppelganger attack. I don't believe there are any more doppelgangers within the city walls, to be very honest with you. But with the other disappearances, it was hard to determine when exactly they occurred versus your encounter with the doppelgangers. And they are such rare creatures. For them to be so numerous, I find highly doubtful.
I'm sure that I asked you this before, but is there some way of detecting them aside from the potion?
We are working on such things, and I have quite a few of my colleagues in several other places along the coast doing their best to scry within these very city walls. In fact, it would not surprise me one bit to learn of them listening into this very conversation.
Perhaps your office...
Shalvus, I'm going to kill you. One of these days, I promise. Anyways, I'm sorry, Krellin. But, you see, what has aspired over these few days that we've been gone is quite simple. We've killed giants, and then we met their queen.
Ears.
I don't
Perhaps.
care. Yes.
This is news to me. We lost track of you after the mountain pass. It's been such a long 10-day. You were in the mountains with the stone giants. You were very concerned.
Yes, we killed them.
There is also an asshole wizard who keeps fucking showing up with this other asshole named Shalvus, which, by the way, anything you could do to help with that would be much appreciated.
See, the problem is that as we go to scry, it is difficult to see you. I would imagine during these times, we've heard tidbits of conversations afterwards, but whoever you are with is shielding themselves. This was actually something I was hoping to get more information from. You said this was a wizard?
Yes. Wizard, long robes,
Yes, he likes
friends
the
with Shalvus.
fancy. He likes the fancy time skipping and magic walls that we can't see.
Highborn, Telborn, Zazrik.
Was that Telborn Zazrik? Does that name mean anything to you, Crowan?
No, it does not. It doesn't. I can certainly and will be looking into it for certain, but that name doesn't mean anything to me at the moment. But
Very
you
well.
also mentioned a queen. A giant
River-
queen?
Rivermeyer, show him the chit.
I pull it up. You see, the reason that the giants are attacking is the ordering. We all know that. We've come through bits and pieces, we know that. What happened is the original queen was assassinated, and her husband has disappeared. We met their daughters. The youngest is now the queen, and it doesn't look too promising that she'll keep her seat unless we find her father. Also, her advisor was a dragon that I will one day slit her throat to. She's the one who killed Hoshnak.
Do you know the
great.
color of this worm?
Blue. Very blue.
Although I should
Very
point
big.
out, she was unaware of the dragon's true nature, and it fled when we unmasked it.
The dragon.
We have heard of a court before, but no one has ever visited from the Harpers. We have contacts in the Lord's Alliance that have mentioned setting up meetings, but it was our understanding those meetings did not go well. And you're telling me that you visited this court?
Crowan, not only did we visit it, but we can go back.
How?
That I will not explain. However, I will say this. If it is such prevalent that the Lord's Alliance meets with the Queen, we can make that happen. Or the Harpers. I will not let the Zipperer go, however.
Your distrust of the Zipperer is not misplaced. At this time, they have been allies with us against the giants themselves, but if the giants are willing to talk and they have a court, perhaps they could listen to reason with this queen that you speak of. Maybe this could end the suffering that is going on throughout the coast, throughout the land. What
We
did...
must
No.
tread carefully. The court is currently split between factions. The daughters of the king appear to be at odds with one another.
Damn politics are going to get in the way. I will not stand idly by while towns are razed and ravaged just because of some politics.
Crowan, if you don't want to watch towns get ravaged anymore, your only option is helping us figure out where this chip goes to.
I'm afraid, Crowan, that It seems we are the only ones who have made any progress in this particular quest. I do not know why or what gods are intervening, but we have the ear of this queen, and we know the forces of good, such as yourself. While we are in dark times, I fear that you are going to have to trust us, my friend, in ways that you have not before.
Do you know
Only
of any?
together
Do you know
can
of
we
any
stand.
gamblers in town? Apparently, this coin is a chip.
I suspect it wouldn't come from Everlund, but more likely from Neverwinter or Waterdeep. Or no, you knew it wasn't from
It
Waterdeep.
is not from Waterdeep, perhaps Kalimshan.
I think you're all wrong. I think it comes from Nuskin. But see, that's our problem.
Pirates in Luskin would be one to use such chips. Casinos there are regular, the gambling halls, though
Yes.
I would not know of such a chip. However, the Harpers have a far reach, and I could certainly reach out to the agents if you would want to leave the chip with me.
I do not think that would be wise. Perhaps we could take a rubbing or a drawing of it.
Very well. I will fetch someone to give a rough trace of it, and I imagine you are weary from the road. We do have rooms here available in the Moongleam Tower, and as members of the Harpers, it would be an honor for us to host you this evening. Perhaps some good food and some good company would do you well. Though
Yes.
urgency is still pressing. One must live. One cannot only live just to fight.
How suspicious does Bran look when he says that?
Brand's content with that, actually.
So I
Cohen,
leave you
I
to the
have a-
tower. If you should need
Cohen.
something, there are chambermaids about.
I have a favor to ask, Froen. For my magics, I have need of a valuable focus to channel divination magics. Do you have any I could make use of while we're here in the tower? It must be of worth at least 1,000 gold pieces. A mirror, silver mirror would be the ideal.
A silvered mirror. Is this something to do with petrification magics?
No, divination.
Not the school I dabble in much, to be very candid. Often I don't find the need for it.
Oh, that's a good one. Eh?
I will see what I can muster up.
Need not be a permanent gift, just use would be of great value.
Truly. Well, I will bid myself adieu at the moment. And he scuttles off.
You'll be the only one bidding yourself adieu then.
How comely are these chambermaids?
They're not... why do you ask?
Well, he mentioned good company, and I suspect he didn't mean whores, so if we're going to be spending the time here, might as well make ourselves comfortable.
So as you guys kind of settle in to grab a meal, because you see some people coming in with some food and some drinks, so a plate with some grapes on it, you actually hear a familiar voice. Oh, these drinks are just dreadful. Oh, fine, no pushing. Leave me alone. And suddenly, at the stairwell, entering down into the cafeteria, if you will, you hear a, oh, my dear friends, how does the day greet you?
I don't actually know if I ever met this guy. Now, I know who he is.
Very
I don't
well,
think Cesar
thank
ever
you.
met him.
He immediately comes up to you, Bran, and scoots on your muscle. Oh, where's my work of art?
Rivermart, pull that out for me.
No.
Yes, yes.
You
yes, yes.
didn't. Not
No,
the
no, no,
second one. I can't bear to look.
No, don't worry. It's all right, I promise you. And I go to pull it out, and I only pull out like half of it. It looks good.
It's a bit dirty. Perhaps I should mend any tears you may have come across.
All right.
I think you're gonna have to do a little bit better than just mending, but
There you go. And I pull the full thing out.
Oh! And you hear him like literally screaming up the stairs, "Mother, you won't believe it! Oh, this fur is ruined. It is beyond repair. Take it away from me. Oh, this just won't do." And you see him disappear. Like he turns and goes like kind of running up the stairs,
In a
pouting and
puff of
crying.
perfume, he's
did he
gone.
run with the cloak or no?
No, he dropped the cloak.
I'm
Yeah.
totally picturing him saying that like Blinken from Robin Hood Men in Tights. Oh, your arms.
Yeah, I've got great moves though.
Fran, who is your friend?
He's a talented leather worker and tailor, I must say. He's the one that originally customized my cloak that Rivermeyer constructed originally.
It wasn't there to keep you warm. You were freezing. We were in the snow.
The man is certainly an artist. I shall look forward to seeing his next creation.
I mean, you've definitely seen Bran in this cloak before it
I'm
got
looking forward to seeing
burned
his
up by
next creation.
the fire elemental.
Fine cloak indeed.
Now that we have a moment to ourselves, I have an idea. I think we all realize that the Queen of Giants is a bit naive, yes?
Not at all.
You think she is more shrewd than she appears?
I think she's a lot more intelligent than you give her credit for.
I do not mean she is unintelligent, just that she appears to have placed a great deal of trust in 4 strangers.
Well, we
First
did
thing-
expose one of
Wait,
our
not-
advisors to being a traitor.
Which is what
Where
you
I'm
did.
going with this is, wouldn't it be such a shame if we accidentally accused Shalvus and the Zipperer of being the bearers of this coin?
I think this is the wrong move. As much as I want to literally pull out his eyes and smush them, I don't think it's wise. I really don't. As Crone has said earlier, multiple times, Zipperer are allies right now. And until they do something to change that, I do not plan on ruining their fun.
I think we need a more.
Alania and coerced us on numerous occasions.
Malachi, well,
They may be allies of the Harpers, but they're no allies of mine.
I do not find fault with your plan. I simply think your timing is off. The time for skullduggery and framing of the Zipperer so that giants eat their bones is not now. It is in several days from now. Once our fact-finding mission is perhaps further along. At the moment, the last thing we need is more chaos with the giants and the bandits and the swords and knives. Now is the time for answers.
Not to mention that your prayer to your god enticed the wizard who saved us, who is nowhere near us. That is not somebody that I want to go to war with yet.
Yeah, let's try to get Crowan to get down with killing him first.
Although I will go to war with you, eventually. I just look up as I'm talking to the air.
It is kind of hard to make plans if they're potentially listening in. He is friends with a very high-level wizard.
Which, by the way, we are in a wizard tower. You would think they could keep other wizards from listening in. That's kind of the whole point of having a wizard tower, right? Crowan? Huh?
You can't just automatically scry someone. They can save against your attempts to do that, right? Sorry, this is a mechanical issue. Or are we assuming that there are magics out there that are like, we would have no idea, and if they keep trying, eventually they'll get something through, kind of thing?
I mean, they have all of our blood.
I would assume that none of us would know the answer to that.
Fair.
Rivermeyer is just going to assume somebody's always watching him from now on, and will always talk to the wind from now on about Shalvus.
How to make your players paranoid. Step 1. Attack them. Attack them with doppelgangers. Step 2. Tell them constantly that they're being scried on.
Aha! Perhaps my belt will prevent us from being scried upon. I do not know how to test this theory.
I'm not sure. Gentlemen, there is, speaking of where we thought the coin, the chip, whatever it is, might have come from. And here in Luskan, it seems to be a sure bet in my book. However, it's a brutish city.
That seems like our next destination. Is there a wizard circle to Luskan?
I'm not sure. You'll have to ask him.
Is there a wizard nearby, Cody?
You guys are like totally alone downstairs, so I mean you'll ultimately be able to go ask around. But because I know that you will eventually ask around, I don't know if it goes to Luskan. Let's
It doesn't.
find out. I don't believe it did.
This thing is never going to. Or Mirabler. Those are the closest.
Oh, you got it? Okay. He was
Yeah,
like, I thought I
closest to
shared it with
Mirabler.
you guys.
All right. I also am going to I'm going to start wandering around looking for something that could be a focus for the spell scrying. So I don't believe we have anything like that. We have gold. I can buy it. But I'm not really that interested in leaving this place where we're trusted and have allies without finding something that will allow me to use that kind of magic.
I also want to mosey around about in Everlund and look for thieves' cant signs to find a gambling den.
So can we assume we've taken a long rest? Or just go ahead and take a long rest?
Yes.
Who has a truck driving through their living room?
I don't know, but I wanted
It
to
sounds like Chris, 'cause he's smiling.
It's definitely me.
Teleportation.
I'll keep my mic muted. No, sorry.
All right, Optimus Prime.
I don't know, guys. It's a great plan. All right, so you guys fully rest, and are you? We're gonna go ahead and. Is there anything else you guys wanted to do today? Is there any other place you guys wanted to travel? Do you want to leave the Moongloom Tower? Or do you just want to like rest and party and relax a little bit in a safe space?
I
want
think
to
we've
look
earned
for a
it.
gambler's den.
I want to try and find a focus for the spell, and I want to do that today because I've memorized scrying and I want to be able to use it now. I got the scrap of cloth. I'm all set to try and scry out this king. I recognize it may not work, but I really want to do it.
When you return to your room to retire for the evening, you find a piece of chalk and some parchment, ultimately for you to make a rubbing of the coin. Of the chip, and in addition to that, you find your silvered mirror laying on your bed.
Excellent. I'm happy to do my scrying thing later. I can do it now.
Yeah,
What do
man.
you
I mean,
guys-
you can do if you want to do it now. You certainly are welcome to.
All right. I would like to do that.
You're just
Are we
gonna
all
cast
gathered
scrying.
round?
I would
It's a
gather
Ouija
everybody
board.
else around, and yeah, I mean it's sitting there and kind of doing a little ritual, lighting some incense, waving some burning sage around, the whole deal, and the focus on the center of the mirror, or I don't know, tied to the handle of the mirror. I'm going to take that piece of cloth from the giant queen gave me from his. I know, was it a button or a piece of cloth? It was a button.
There's a button.
Yeah, I'll place the button, or I'll, like, somehow put them together to, like, try and channel my knowledge.
All right. So, what have you gathered?
What have I gathered?
Yes, for this scrying spell.
Okay.
And what are you trying to scry?
So I'm just trying to scry anything I can, mostly whether or not I can tell whether or not, like, the king is alive.
Okay, so you're trying to scry King Hecaton.
I'm trying to scry Hecaton, and I'm trying to
Great.
mostly find out whether or not he's alive, but also anything about his location.
And as far as what he's got the button.
I've got the
He's
button.
got
I've got the mirror.
Okay, so you have a +5 because you've never seen the target.
Fair.
You have no likeness or picture. You do have a possession, so -4, so it's only +1. Do you have a body part?
No.
Okay, so it's only a +1 to the DC. And can't use the spell against it again.
For 24 hours.
Absolutely. All right, and what's your roll?
My spell DC?
I believe you have to make a. The target makes a wisdom saving throw. Hold on.
Yeah. So my DC, the DC will be 16 if I get a penalty of 1, which I believe I do, right?
Yeah, ultimately, it's not a penalty against you. It's a
bonus for him. Okay.
Correct.
So my spell save DC is 17, and then he gets the bonus. But I would have gathered everyone else around this to, like, make them watch.
As you gather everybody
Talked
around,
it up a lot.
you can see the magic starting to take effect. The button that you've laid out from King Hecaton's wardrobe begins to kind of lift up off the bed, and a dark gray mist begins to swirl inside the mirror. And it swirls, and it swirls, and it swirls, and ultimately, after 5 to 10 minutes go by,
Cesare leaves and gets a snack.
continues to swirl, and nothing is appearing.
I'm gonna wait.
You can wait all you want. Ultimately,
I know.
Nothing comes throughout this spell.
All right, but I mean, I've gathered everybody around me, and I'm talking it up, and I'm like, guys, I got this. I know we're trying to figure out what the deal is with this token. Don't worry. Don't even worry about it. I got this taken care of. And then it's a thing where, like, people slowly lose faith in me and drift off and go do their own thing over time, and I'm still there, just like, really, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. Like, Cesare goes out, gets wasted. He comes back. I'm still there. He goes to bed. It's just, one of those montage sequences. And eventually, I guess I'll just fall asleep because it's pretty boring.
And so nothing happens from the scrying spell.
All right. Fair
What
enough.
level was this?
The 5th
A
level
5?
spell.
5, yeah.
Yep.
Do you have how many level 5 slots do you have?
I believe just the one.
Just the one? Okay.
Although, if we're sleeping, then I'm going to hopefully regain the level 5 spell afterwards.
So, do you guys just go ahead and rest, or is there anything else you guys want to do for the evening?
I want to go find a gambling den.
You want to go find a gambling den.
3 thieves can't.
Alright, so...
Alright, hold on. Are you doing this sneakily, or are you just, like,
No.
walking out cash?
Anybody who wants to come with me, like Rivermeyer is totally like,
Yeah, I'll go
tells the
with you.
group, I'm going to go find thieves.
Yep.
As you get ready to leave, you guys actually walk out the front door, and the guards standing outside, you can see they have a collection of these bottles. Some of them are empty. They look at you and say, "Where are you going?"
We are going to get
Out!
around
What? You're not my dad? And Cesare walks away.
Give me one of the two of
The
those. Give me
streets
those.
are off limits at the moment.
We killed so many of those doppelgangers. If there is anyone to be out and about, it is us. We make the streets safer with our very presence. Good day.
It's not the doppelgangers that's the problem, mate. It's the guards. There's a curfew. Haven't you heard?
Yes, I don't care. Anyways, we're leaving, and if the guards want to do anything about it, they'll soon find themselves armless.
But this seems like a... I speak over the clear threat coming from Rivermire. It seems like this curfew, the point of it is to protect the citizenry, yes?
That's right.
And
We're not citizens.
who does this curfew come from?
Comes from the captain.
And who does the captain work for?
The citizens.
And who are the citizens?
I see where you're going with this. But if you want a crossbow bolt right in your back without a question being asked. And he kind of like says, you know, kind of gives a gesture like, be my guest, go for it.
Where is the captain?
Probably patrolling.
Then let us go find him. You stay here and protect this. You come with us
You'll
and
not
make sure we
want-
do not get up to anything.
You'll not want to go find the captain.
I believe I do want to go find the captain. That is why I have simply stated it. And he will want to see me. For I am Cesare. We are good old bosom buddies. Come, elf, let us go find the captain.
No. Don't stop him. Don't stop him. It's not our problem. Yeah. All right. Godspeed. And they kind of go back to just looking off in the distance.
I cannot believe that actually worked.
So who is wandering the town at night?
Moi.
Brian?
Cesare?
No, I'm just getting drunk.
In real life or in character?
In
Column
character
A, a little
tonight.
from column B.
A little bit of A, a little bit of B. All right, so it's just you two?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys head off into the night, and you can see that the streets are empty. And you can see some guards walking along the walls, and you can see some torchlight kind of sticking up and about throughout the city here and there. Are you guys going to hide, or are you going to just walk plainly in the streets?
I think walk, head, shoulders back, head up.
Yeah, like, Rivermire's really not intimidated by this scene.
So, as you guys continue on, you can see some torchlight moving from the guards here and there. As you look up ahead at a crossing, you can actually see it fading along the building in front of you. Are you going to duck, or are you going to just stand in the street?
Wait, so it's like coming around a corner?
Yeah.
Okay, I was picturing it up on like a parapet. I'm gonna look over at Rivermire and see if he's stealthed.
Elf stealth?
Yeah,
Am I elf stealthed?
I think that's what the technical term for it. Yeah.
Alright, if it's gonna be such a big deal, I'll play peekaboo and hide and go seek.
So as you guys approach the light, you can see the light kind of coming. You make a stealth check. Go ahead and give me one as well, Cesare. I got a 14 for Rivermire, which is really, really low.
I know, I only have plus 12.
And and Cesare with a 23.
Happens every time. Like, if I didn't have plus 12, I would have like 8s and 9s.
They rolled a 4. Okay, so yeah, 14's definitely good enough. I hate passive, by the way. Passive perception is so fucking stupid. Yeah, absolutely. You guys hide, and you kind of don't think that you're gonna hide, and at the last minute, Cesare's kind of pulling on you, and you're like, fine. And so you like duck real quick, and you kind of see the light pass over. Kind of stand up. Rivermire, your eyes are much better in this moonlight than Cesare's. But eventually you guys continue to wind and make your way through the city until you see, ever so subtly, a notched in the bottom frame of a door safe house.
I'm gonna totally point it out to Cesare because I know he would have never seen it ever.
And Cesare, it's actually hard for you to make out even while you're looking at it, and Rivermire's like pointing at it. It's really, really difficult to see. Really, really subtle.
I don't see anything. What are you pointing at? Yes, it is a nice. It is a nice joint in the wall. I assume.
Just rub your hand on it. You'll understand that it's actual lettering.
Oh, it's a kitty cat.
Sure, if that's what you think. It means safe house. Come on.
Yeah, after you, buddy.
Oh, and when you go in there, don't say your name.
This is going to be the greatest challenge of Cesare's life.
That's what I remember said.
Don't say your name. Yes. Cesare. Fuck.
You'll see what I can.
Yeah.
And as you open the door, you see that this room is pretty much abandoned, and the telltale signs of the shuffle of hay leads to the very back corner and down a hatch.
Come. As I'm forcing him to go first.
Cesare. Okay, let's go.
So as you guys kind of slide down, you come to what looks like a speakeasy almost, without the actual guard sitting at the door with the speakeasy. Although there are two kind of bulky looking seedy humans kind of sitting up at the front, kind of eyeing you, and you give them kind of the familiar nod and give them a touch of thieves' cant, and they kind of, yeah, absolutely, and pass you and Cesare along.
Is there any music down here?
There is not music going on, but you can hear a large table loudly drinking and, slamming, and there's only 3 tables in this room, and on the third table you see this big dude's arm wrestling with a half-orc, and they're slamming each other down, and everybody's cheers are going up as they're being a little bit rowdy down here.
Cool. Cesare takes out his lute and starts playing the Cantina song from Star Wars. Lute version.
You kind of see him look over. Hey, tell him to shut that the fuck up before the guards hear him. And you kind of see a couple of dudes get up in their chairs, scoot, kind of slide across. Do you quickly put it away, or do you continue to play?
I do quickly put it away.
Don't mind my friend. He's new here. Anyways, I have a question for you boys. If I win a round, you answer it. If I lose a round, I'll answer your questions.
At this point, you see this kind of large half-orc kind of stand up and walk over to you, and it takes you a second, but you realize it's a woman. Like, it's a female half-orc. She's just so bulked out that you didn't really recognize that she, in fact, was a she at first. And what's the bet?
100 gold.
For what game?
Poker, of course.
We got cards. That's not a problem. Krov's our best player, though. I have to play against him.
That's fine, but however, hands have to stay on the table.
She says back in Thieves' Cant, not a problem. And so she hollers over, And at this point, kind of coming out of the corner, you see a gnoll sit down at the table. Oh, cards. I love some cards. Love cards. Yeah. So, 100 gold. I don't got 100 gold, but I'll play your cards. It's fine, Croft. He's only looking for information. Yeah, let's play some cards.
Cesare is going to say in Goblin, stick with us, no, we'll make you rich, and wink at him. Oh.
Sorry, I kind of lost here. Some technical difficulties. What would you say to him?
Stick with us, Nord, we'll make you rich, wink.
Crowd likes rich.
Did you say that back in Goblin?
Yes.
Cool. I would like to, tell me if I can do this. I want to do sleight of hand, but just to, like, interfere with any other cheating that's going on. Or...
Okay, I understand exactly what you're trying to do.
Table.
Give me
right.
I tell you what, give me that's an interesting question here. I'm going to say that's a knowledge check with advantage.
Neat. I'm not good at that. Knowledge?
There's no knowledge in this book.
Not intelligence. Intelligence.
Ooh.
I know,
Awesome.
Daniel. We just talked about all
Dude,
this.
I know,
It's
I
intelligent.
know.
Oh, a natural 1. Okay.
With advantage, I think that's a 15.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, except for the fact that it's a nat 1, so maybe that doesn't...
No, it's a 15. Yeah. So you're not saying much. You're just keeping a keen eye on the cards as they're dealt out. And you guys begin to play. So Rivermeyer, do this for me. Give me an intelligence check. We're just going to do a straight intelligence check for this game. Huh. I have a 27.
It's a smart-ass Knoll.
Yeah, well, there's some things going on. So, ultimately, you lose this. You play a few rounds, and Krav is really, really, really good. So he cleans you out. And as the last hand is dealt, your last chips are kind of kicked over that you guys have converted, and thanks for playing. And you see him get up, and he walks right over to this half-orc woman, and he hands all of the chips immediately to her. And she kind of looks through them, and she goes, "Here," and she hands him back 4.
Interesting. And what is it? Any idea what's going on? Do I have any idea what's going on?
Well, I mean, dude, he played poker. Or he played some cards, and he won all the money, and then he walked over and gave it all to her, and she gave him back 4 coins.
Okay, but is it because like he doesn't understand how economics work, or just because like she's
You
the big
do not,
bad?
after watching him play cards for a few minutes, you don't think him to be stupid.
Okay, so she's the boss. Got it. Listen, big beautiful. I sidle up to the big orc woman. What do I know about orc mating rituals, Cody?
Not much. So ultimately, what are you trying to accomplish here?
I'm trying to seduce the giant orc.
Okay. I tell you what, give me a charisma check at disadvantage.
Ah.
It's all about brute force, bruh.
11. She is completely not interested in anything that you have to say, and she is busy fumbling through and feeling her hands on the chips.
She's feeling her hands on the chips.
Like she's playing with the chips.
Okay.
She's fidgeting with them.
How many people in here, Cody?
There's probably about 24 or so down here in this
Cool.
in this den. So, what information are you looking for? Just curious.
Oh, just curious. Yes, I understand. There's a chip. Comes from one of these rings. We need to know where from.
She holds her hand out.
Over my hands at the chip.
You see her take it. She flips it over, and remember, she's really bulky and big, and you see her sleight of hand it, and it kind of disappears, and she looks at you. She kind of smiles and pulls it back out. Golden goose. Interesting. Well, I can tell you where it's not from. Maybe that will help.
Perfectly.
And she proceeds to list off Everlund, Loudwater, Mirabar, Neverwinter, Luskin, Ten Towns. Hello. She lists off Silvery Moon. And she lists off Daggerford.
Cesare knows it's not from Waterdeep. That leaves Yitar and Goldenfield. Let's go back to Goldenfield,
Now
guys.
going back to Goldenfield.
Let's go back to Goldenfield, guys. Don't worry, they don't know Malachi. We're a whole other group.
Speaking of, what is the food situation like in these days?
You've heard the rumors.
Yes, I have. It is a dark time. Hey, how about you let me buy you a drink?
No, thank you. That'll be 50 gold, please. She's kind of holding her
coin
hand out
first.
to you, Rivermeyer.
But coin first, of course. You know how these transactions go.
No problem. She flips it back over to you.
How many people did you say are in here?
Chris, close your window.
Sorry, I thought I was muted.
She flips the coin back over to you. You pay her?
How many people are in here? Remember, has to think about it.
There's like 24 people, and they look like ruffians.
Yeah, I'll pay her. I don't care.
You give her an extra 100, so ultimately, you lose 150 gold, which is a king's ransom. To be like, that's 150 gold is a lot of money.
Don't worry. Rivermire's gonna come back and kill every single one of them.
And so,
He has to take a job from the guard sometimes, guys.
so is there anything else that you guys want to gather from here, or are you guys gonna head back?
I think I'm gonna head back.
You guys,
Yeah,
you guys are
I
able.
mean, I want to take another run at that giant orc, not for like any reason at this point, just because Cesare doesn't like being turned down.
So, anyways, you guys make it back to the Moongleam Tower, and you see the two guards kind of looking at each other like, all right. As you guys approach, they hold their hands out and another potion.
Alright, last one. I'm not kidding. And I'll even prove it to you. I down it, and then I do this. And I pull one towards me, and I whisper, next time I will kill you. And I'll prove it to you. And I bleed my finger just a little bit. Next time, look for the skull.
Yeah, down the hatch and all of that.
Cesare's like not into none of that. He's like, I'll just drink it, not a problem.
Yeah.
That's it. Third one.
Keep them coming. I don't even mind. It's kind of growing on me.
There's a very grapey flavor to it. So you guys make it back. You find Brand and Malachi, and you can catch them up if you'd like. Ultimately, we're going to move on to the next day. So,
I'm so
moved
glad
to
you're
the map.
back, guys. I've almost got this spell working.
Yeah. Hey, Cody, can we move to the map?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what page you're on. Oh, you're on the map.
I'm on black. That's all I see.
I am on the map.
No, I'm on the giant map. I mean, like, Sword Coast map.
You should be on the Sword Coast map.
Oh, I'm totally not.
All right.
I'm on the Sword Coast map.
Now I am. Hey, look, there's a lot of river Maris.
All right. There you go. So, it's the next morning. You guys can catch up with each other. And you've actually made quite a bit of headway towards figuring out where this coin might be. You were able to eliminate a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, next time maybe we just offer to pay them first instead of the whole gambling coin for information thing.
You don't understand, Ossuary. They have their own ways.
Yeah.
So, Brandon, how are you feeling this morning after drinking and passing out last night?
A little hungover, but he's all right.
You find at the foot of your bed, when you wake up, a
Is it wrapped?
beautiful bear skin cloak with the head on it as a headdress.
I try it on.
It
Examine it further.
fits perfectly.
Is there a letter attached to this cloak?
In fact, there is. When you open it up, and you can literally see this beautiful script from Brindle, just like eloquently written out. My dearest Bran, please take better care of this cloak, or I might die. Signed, Brindle. P.S. Mother sends her love.
Are we all in the same room?
There's 2 rooms that you guys had to split up.
I sport the cloak, so you guys easily see it the next time you see me.
I'm gonna tell you, you have this cloak is so well done, and it is so perfectly fitting with the bear head, and he's actually done some additional dressing of it up, that while wearing this cloak, and while it is still in one piece, you have a +1 to intimidation checks.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yes, and which, by the way, Brand's intimidation checks are making crowns out of wheat and putting it on heads of people.
There you go. So, what would you guys like to do?
Well, first things first, we're going to share the information we found out about where it's not from, which I've put X's on the maps for all the ones I can remember. Where's 10 Towns? That was one of them.
Yeah.
Way at the top, somewhere, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, it's north of the Spine of the World and west of Spine of the World.
So, pretty much just the...
Bryn
Yartar.
Shander, by the way, Bryn Shander, that is 10 Towns.
Good.
Pretty much just Yartar and the Golden Field, the place that must not be named. So I guess we're going south, guys.
Yes, also, it might be best before we go to either of those that we do ask our beloved rival. Shalvus, you all look super confused.
I think rival gives him too much credit.
He is everywhere we are. We fight for the same things.
Malachi, are you going to make a second scrying attempt?
Is scrying able to... I could
easier?
cast it on somebody where I wouldn't necessarily know. Like, could I cast scrying using that, the chip without knowing its owner at all? I mean, I assume there'd be, like, horrific penalties. Or is it not... It would have to be something more personal than, like, like gambling hall chip.
You can. Hold on. Let me tell you exactly the spell. Because I don't think it's actually called scrying. I think it's very 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 similar to scrying. It's a divination spell.
No,
Help me out here, Dan.
it's scrying.
Is it scrying?
I just
actually on
cast
the
it
item?
I just cast it in the game. Oh, on the item. Oh.
Yeah, I want to say that it's a.
I don't know if that's a druid spell then. There might be a wizard spell like that.
It might. Ooh, shit. I'm thinking here, man. I'm trying to remember all the spells here. If there's something else, I think you can use scrying. I think you can scry, or the other one was called Legend Lore. I think
Okay. I don't see that on the druid list here.
it may not be.
for a person.
It's not.
We are in like a gigantic wizard tower, by the way. With wizards, you can do anything.
They have been less than helpful thus far.
Yeah,
Well,
they're-
that's Cody. No, that's not them. That's Cody.
Yeah, just keep pushing.
I mean, it's not to keep digging this well, but ditch, but it's still Cody.
Well,
It
okay.
continues to be Cody.
Anyway, ignoring those assholes before I hopefully have you be helpful with my divination magic.
That is a good call. I'm looking here real quick.
Well, okay, so before I cast it, do I have any sense of whether or not my inability to successfully find my target was... is
You
that
think the
kind of thing-
magic worked?
It worked? Okay, so it would be unsuccessful. I would be pretty sure it'd be unsuccessful to try again on Hecaton because something's blocking me there.
I tell you what, give me a intelligence arcana check.
Yeah, we'll just say I fail. That's cool. Wait. Okay.
You're the one that wants to know all these things.
I know, that's fair.
I'm trying to see what all spells might be able to divine besides scrying.
Hey!
Ooh, a 21. You are quite certain, personally, you are convinced with absolute doubt that something was interfering with your spell and that your magic was perfect.
Without absolute doubt.
That's different from every time Malachi thinks anything.
Right, I mean, that's no change from normal, but...
You are quite positive that something was fucking with your spell. Something was messing with your magic.
Okay. Yeah, well, I guess I'll ask around. I'm thinking I'll attempt to scry out the previous owner of this token. Do you guys have any other better suggestions for using divination magic to our advantage?
Divination what?
Yeah, I
Moving
don't
right
really.
along?
I don't have a lot here, buddy.
Well
This-
done, Bran.
I just sort of play the music and stuff happens. I don't really think about it too much.
Then yeah, I will attempt to... I mean, this would be almost impossible. I'll attempt to locate the previous owner of the chip. Same deal.
Okay. You attempt to locate the previous owner of the chip. I don't think you can do that with this spell. This
Okay.
spell, you have to have at least heard of the target.
Then I will not cast Scrying again for now.
Okay.
Because I can't think of anybody better to use it on.
Okay. You could always try to scry Shalvus.
I could, but I know he'll show up when he's least wanted anyway. And knowing where he is isn't going to help us that much.
Also,
I did give him my amulet.
Good. Also, we already knew that they couldn't see the wizard who was with Shalvus.
Who couldn't see him? Oh, the giants?
Croakan.
Oh, yeah, right.
Croaka. Yeah.
Yeah, remember I still think that it's the best choice is to go to Loudwater and ask them about the chip. And then go wherever else we have left. And we do have a name, Golden Goose.
Do we, or was she just looking at the side of it and saying, golden goose?
No, I think she meant like that's the name of.
Your impression was that of Cesare's. I'll save you that right now.
Oh,
It wasn't
oh.
a name. She just went, golden goose.
Alright, let's get out of here before that annoying gnome wakes up.
I like
Never mind, let's note. Never mind, it's gonna write a note and just said all it's gonna say is, "We went to," and leave it on his chest. So when he wakes up, he's ready.
Yep. That's what's happening.
We went to
What'd you say,
Loudwater. Are you
Ravenmeyer?
serious?
I said went to Loudwater because he kept saying, "I want to go to Loudwater. Let's go to Loudwater."
I'm not taking him home.
That is so fucking great.
He's gonna be scared and alone.
Oh shit. He's in a very safe place. All right. So
Sure,
what do
help
you,
him get
what do you guys want to do?
go to Loudwater.
That's so fucking great. All right.
Yeah, now I'm totally sold on Loudwater.
I mean, not only am I sold, I want to buy like Loudwater, like I love Loudwater t-shirts,
Let's go to-
and,
let's
like
go to
the
his
hats,
shop.
and bring it
Let's
back a
just go to
mug.
the shop and
Yeah.
take a clock back from Loudwater.
No, let's go rob his shop while he's here, because no one will be watching it.
You guys are fucking terrible. Oh my gosh. So I'm just gonna fast forward for you guys because ultimately you're gonna be able to use your teleportation circles.
So we fast forward straight to his shop.
No,
Graham smashing through the safe.
if you guys
Put
want to
the
be
bonus here
in
that we should
Loudwater,
do it.
you can be in Loudwater.
You told us there was like.
Is that where we
gold
wanna go, guys?
There.
Is that where we want to go?
Sure.
I think it's a good idea to ask Shalvus about it before we do anything else.
As you guys make your way down to, the teleportation circle here in the Moongleam Tower, you see Crowin approaching from behind. My friends, it appears as though this is necessary, though it pains me to give these to you. And he holds his arms out, and in his hands he is holding 4 necklaces. I'm trepidatious. With these, it will make it impossible to track you. Which apparently you need. It will also make it impossible for us to track you, should you need a call for assistance.
If we take them off, will you like pop up on a little wizard radar map
It will
of
be
sorts?
difficult for us to know when they are on or off, but we will do our best to use the full strength of the network to check in as often as possible. I cannot
Excellent.
promise
We-
that the times will overlap, but we will
We
do what
need
we can.
dozens of your strongest wizards constantly scrying for us. So as soon as we take these off, you'll be ready.
No. Crowin, my question is if, let's say, Bren and Cesare, who will most certainly wear this because it's gold and he likes fancy things, and Malachi, who just wants to look nicer, I think, let's say all 3 of them wear it, and I don't. Can you see me?
You, yes.
Then we're good.
But that won't do any good because whoever is scrying for you could scry for any of you.
Yeah, why would you not want to wear this, Rivermeyer?
Well, for one, I'm not worried about the Harpers finding us, but you seem to be, Malachi.
I would rather that Shal just doesn't see us coming. Wouldn't that make it easier for you to stick a knife in his back? I would
He
not
already
wish.
knows
I
we're
would
going
not
to kill
wish.
him.
Do you want the dragon to know our movements?
Yeah, also, everybody who would be tracking the three of us knows that we travel with you, so you're kind of making a decision for all of us, buddy.
Well, I'm just saying, you're the ones who are worried about it.
Just saying,
Perhaps.
put on the fucking necklace, Self.
Yeah. Stop being an a-hole.
Perhaps we could leave you. And he points at Bran without the necklace. If it is more likely that the scrying spells will be aimed at Rivermire.
Wait, didn't he just bring 4 of them?
No, he brought 4 of them.
Why would
How about
anything
this?
not be?
Cohen, I've got a solution. You ready? Every other day, I'll take it off.
Hey, how about this, Crowan? What are you doing right now?
At sunrise. For no longer than 10 minutes.
Done. Every
Hold
other day
on.
or every day?
I have an idea. Remember that gnome? We could just drag him along and no one's going to be scrying for him. I'm sure he'd love to go.
He's from Loudwater. The Zipperer know that he's with us, and no, that doesn't seem like a good
Sentry
idea.
don't know he's with us.
Besides, I'm not going to worry about him living or dying.
I'm not worried about him living or dying. Are you?
Obviously. No, I'm
Such
just
brave
telling you.
adventurers we have here.
Crowan, again, I must ask, what are you doing right now? You are a very powerful wizard. We have a powerful wizard who we would like to not be killed by. Maybe you just sort of hang out and lend a little weight to the things that we are going to say.
The duties of my station require my attention elsewhere. You are certainly capable adventurers who apparently the
45
gods
minutes. We're
smile
asking for
upon.
45 minutes of your time.
Crone, before we leave, I have 2 questions for you.
Yes.
Well, more statements. One, and I give him a list of all the towns we figured out that the thing doesn't come from.
Okay.
We know for a fact that the chip does not come from these towns that I've listed here. So focus your efforts elsewhere. And number 2, can someone who knows no magic use something that stores magic?
There are certainly artifacts capable of displacing magic with command words, such as wands. Yes.
Wonderful. Next time I meet with you, I must talk to you, but every morning at sunrise for 10 minutes. I'll take off my necklace for you. That is the only time.
We will do our best to keep our eye on you.
Wonderful. Gentlemen, are we ready to go to Loudwater?
Yeah, but you know, amulet on first.
Yes.
Wait. Do we wish Shalvus to know that we have these amulets if we plan to meet with him? Would it not be better to meet with him directly and then put them on afterwards so that they can't place any sort of tracking magics on our persons?
There will be no doubt from this Zazrik that upon seeing you and seeing these, that he will find you incapable of tracking, incapable of scrying magics, incapable of divining your location. But he would know that if he attempted and made such magics happen, the moment you put them on. Of course, here in the Moongleam Tower, you are safe from his eyes, so perhaps you might have a little bit of an element of surprise.
Wait, Shalvus doesn't know that I told him last night I was going to kill him.
No, the Moongleam Tower is certainly protected and warded from outside the Harpers' influence, even within the Harpers, to be very candid. Only a few select of my colleagues are capable of bypassing the magics through back doors and traps that I placed.
Kind of like a magical firewall?
I think they have
Sort
those.
of like
It's
a
called
wall of fire, yes?
Yeah, I know about those. You want a firewall? Stand back.
I'm not sure what fire really has to do. It's not quite the same school of magic.
Never mind. I think our friend is just trying to be funny.
All right. So we're gonna put him on or not before we go?
Yeah. Put him on. It doesn't matter because he'll know immediately, anyways.
All right,
Yeah, and
all right,
also-
Shindoku. Here's what we're gonna do, boys. We're gonna take a 3-minute break. I'm gonna take the stream down. I'm gonna bring it back up. I'm getting some artifacts here on. I'm getting some artifacts here on Skype. So we're literally gonna just take the stream down and put it right back up. I'm getting some CPU issues here, so give us just a heartbeat. We will be right back. I had some bitrate issues. I wanted to clean up here. I was getting some artifacts on the videos, but we should be back and live. Let me know if that looks and sounds all right if you're watching on the stream. All right, so are you guys ready to? What do you guys want to do here? Are you putting the amulets on? Are you going to Loudwater? Are you going somewhere else?
Well, if I put the note on the little gnome's chest, then I'm definitely going to Loudwater.
Yeah, that wasn't just flavor. That's actually happening, and that's going to be a major plot point from now on. That's canon, Cody.
Poor Elster. All right. Thanks, Shindoku. I appreciate giving me the heads up on the audio. All right, so with that, you step up and see that very familiar bumbling, stumbling wizard. Loudwater it is, not a problem.
New book?
And he kind of opens his eyes back up, and he looks down in his bag. Yes. Please don't take it. Here we go.
Get it past this time.
And he begins his chant, and you guys suddenly find yourselves in a very familiar back room underneath an inn here in Loudwater.
An inn that we released a badger and everyone went ape shit.
The skunks.
Oh, the skunk.
You guys release skunks everywhere.
How's it smell in there?
Wretched. It hasn't been long enough for the smell to still be lingering down here.
It's only been a few days.
It has not been long enough to get the smell out of the 16 or 28, whatever they ended up being, skunks here in Loudwater. And so, smells like the average dwarf. That's funny. It smells like the average Malachi.
Well, fair enough.
After a few moments, you climb your way out and find yourselves in the back room of the stag. Where do you guys want to head off to?
Man, it smells pretty bad around here. Do you guys know what happened?
And you look over and you see the bartender who has a yellow musty scarf, like kind of hanging around their throat. That obviously has been tied back so that they can wear it as a mask in certain parts of the tavern here. Right, you again.
Yeah.
Really should do something about this place. It's it doesn't seem very fresh. It's really just bad hospitality.
He kind of just eyes you down.
Malachi, we're not here to make jokes at him. We're here to talk to our favorite person.
Who's
Also, burgle a clock shop.
Maybe.
The clock shop. You must be talking about Elster's. He
Yes,
hadn't
he's
been
over-
around in 10 days.
He-
Place done been
That's
broke
That's
into and ransacked by the Zinterim.
Shalvus! That was my shop to ransack. Where is that asshole?
The dark-skinned one?
Yes.
I don't know. About.
I got a perfect idea, Cesare, and I walk into the streets.
As you walk into the streets, you see a small boy who greeted you on the Flying Fish Bridge, kind of walking down the lane, kicking a little rock and kind of humming to himself, and he sees you, and he stops. And he takes off running.
Wait, is that the same
Turns
kid
around.
we gave a gold to?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'm gonna chase him.
Cesare, he's going to go get the... Never
I'm chasing
mind.
him. Chasing him.
As you begin to chase him, he is cutting and jumping around, and give me either a dexterity check or an intelligence check.
Oh, you're getting dexterity. That's actually pretty bad for me.
16.
Yeah.
The boy disappears behind one of the alleyways, and remember, Loudwater is covered in thick green vinery, so it's really difficult to kind of make out exactly where the buildings are. The whole town has kind of been taken over by all the shrubbery and vines and whatnot. And so he kind of cuts and darts around a building, and you kind of lose track of him for a moment. You get a quick idea to hop over one of the corners and grab up and kind of pull yourself on top of the roof. And sure enough, you make it up to the top and you can see him. You take a few steps over, and if you want, you can jump down and try to tackle him.
Before I do that, is there anyone standing on roofs that I can see with crossbows?
You don't have the time to look. You can either look or you can try to catch him.
I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna tackle him.
So sure enough, you kind of pull yourself up real quick. You climb over the top using the vines, and you look down and you see the boy kind of duck down, and he turns around. You jump down right on top of him, tumbling him down to the ground. Please, no, please. Wait. Are you gonna kill me?
What? Why would I kill you? You're a little boy.
They said you were a murderer. There's been talk all about the town. I hear them in the inn. You're plotting some murder.
Specifically me. Specifically Cesare is plotting a murder.
No, the group you're with. The elf.
I can't. So, I know him pretty well, but I don't know him well enough to definitively say he is not plotting a murder. But who's saying this? What are you talking about? Who's saying that he's plotting murder?
The Centureem.
And why would you listen to them? Their name means lying assholes. It is an old Orcish word. Ask my friend.
I don't speak Orc.
Well, I have an orc, and he will tell you that Zentarine is an Orcish word for... Why am I explaining this to you?
What are the rest of you guys doing while Cesare kind of takes off running after this kid?
I was just gonna scream and shout for the Zipperer. I was about to Shalvus! But seeing that he's chasing this kid, I'm just gonna walk after them. I'm not gonna run.
Bran, Malachi?
Yeah, I'm not really interested in chasing down the kid. I'm just gonna stick with Rivermire at this point.
Alright, so the three of you just start strolling down Loudwater. And I'm sorry, my wife is trying to catch the dog here. What? Alright, did you catch Zeus? What do you need Zeus for?
I'm taking him upstairs.
Oh, he's fine. Alright, be gentle with Zeus. Alright, so, anyways, as you're continuing to interrogate this kid, you hear the click of a crossbow.
God damn it. Hi, Shalvus.
I have no idea where the fuck you have been. For 3 days. And now suddenly You're in my city, in my town, and you didn't even stop to say hi. Now, I don't know about you, but Zazar, don't you think that's just rude, right?
Hey,
Indeed it is. Your Highness.
eh? I turn around. I've been like hunched over the kid this whole time, with them behind me, just like I shouted. I finally turn around, like, what? Your Highness.
And when you kind of turn back, look shocked, Shalvus gives out a chuckle. See, I told you that would really fuck with him, right? Anyways, where's my conch?
Was that not a rhetorical question?
Where is my conch?
Where would that search me? I have no conch.
You hired
You
us to
sent
kill
us-
stone giants, Sheldus. You
Wait,
didn't
You're
hire
not there
Wait,
yet.
here?
You're not there
Yeah,
yet.
this is just Shalvus and
Oh,
Cesare time.
sorry.
You're so close. Where is my conch? Cesare Ducat? From the Moonshay Isles, I am not playing with you.
I am not playing with you, Shalvus Delmondaine of the Caesarean Puntamintes.
I don't have time for this. And about that time, you guys come around the corner. And in the alleyway, you can see Shalvus. Revel is standing next to him, not invisible. A boy is laying on the ground right behind Cesare, and Cesare is looking at your direction. Oh, good. Right on time. And
Oh.
Shalvus kind of steps back so that he can see both of you.
What fresh hell is this?
Interesting choice of words there, dwarf. Now, and he kind of points to you, Cesare, to like get over there.
Yeah, before I do that, was this kid wearing shoes?
Yes, he was.
I take his shoes and then I walk over.
As you reach down to take his shoes,
Sick person.
no.
I'm sorry. Did you have some business with the child?
Leave little Jor alone. And you see him kind of give a
Travis,
nod, and the kid
I
takes off
didn't come
running.
here for small talk about the child. Listen to me. If you
talk
want
about
your
small
giant
things.
problem, if you want your giant problem solved, you're going to help us. If you don't want it solved, then we'll take our leave.
You see, it seems to me that I had my giant problem taken care of. The only problem is, I didn't get to chat with you afterwards. And you see, I was really fucking counting on chatting with you afterwards. Because see, the problem is that you have something that belongs to me. You have my conch.
I failed to see why what you hoped would happen is our problem. And I don't know anything about why you believe that we owe you a conch. You asked us to kill stone giants. You owe us thousands of gold pieces. We
See,
did
it's like
exactly
they
as
don't
you
even
asked.
understand how this works out. You see, it's like they don't even understand. You try, and I try, and I try. I unpetrify them, and I fucking...
Shalvus, shut the fuck up. Stuff is happening. Rivermire, show him the thing.
I don't have the thing. Anyways, here's the chip. If you know where it comes from, let
That
me
was the
know.
thing.
He holds his hand out.
Rivermire gives it to him. At this point, Rivermire's put the whole chip to memory.
I know where this goes. But, you know, it's funny. You gave me, quite literally, A bargaining chip. They gave me a bargaining chip, Rebel. So, I know where this goes, and I'll be happy to give you that information as soon as I get my fucking conch.
We don't need it. You can keep the chip. So either you can tell us, or you can try to kill us, or we can all be friends here, and you can have your giant problem solved. Listen, your intimidations don't scare me, and obviously I don't scare you. So either be a man and we work this out, or we don't, and at least one of us dies.
See, the problem is that you're in my city, and I've got an archmage. So you tell me what's more important. Your lives, the knowledge, the information to go help people, or some fucking conch. I've been told there's rumors that there's more than one of these things around.
Oh, there are. There's more than one.
Let's make a deal.
All right, 1 second. Bren, Malachi, Cesare, come here. Come here. And if they... Do y'all get close enough to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go... okay, because it's a new day, and blow the conch in front of Shalvus, and disappear my friends. Goodbye, douchebag.
Wait.
All right.
You know what we should have done?
I'm gonna totally let this happen. I'm gonna totally fucking let this happen. I'm gonna say
before we did that and taken him with us and left the mage behind. That's what we should have fucking done.
It's too late.
Wait, hold on. I'd like to make a grab at him. Can I do that, or is that way too late?
I don't think that you anticipated him blowing the conch, because I don't think anybody at this table anticipated him blowing the conch.
That's fair.
That is
Disappointing, but fair.
Look, I got us away. I don't feel bad.
And you once again, gentlemen, find yourself in the maelstrom.
Wonderful.
Without the chip.
Rivermeyer, I do not know what that accomplished.
You see, he was going to kill us, or he was going to take the conch. Considering that the conch is literally, in fact, the only one that we have, and the only way to get here, to give the Queen information about the things that we're trying to find out, it is something that we cannot give up.
I don't disagree. And I'd like to point out my previous suggestion.
I'm
Now
totally
Shalvus
framing the
is
Shalvus.
literally
point-
standing in our path of
Yes,
solving this mystery.
at this point, Rivermeyer is agreeing with Malachi, and Shalvus has the chip.
It's not even, it is not, we are not, there's no deception. He knows the thing. He is the person who knows the thing. The giants want to know the thing. They need to get the thing from him. He knows the thing. Let's go.
Right, let's just go tell the Queen that Shalvus has the information, and he doesn't want to give it to us. And then she can kill him.
Is this, like, again, an empty, like, antechamber because they just don't guard their front door at all?
Because the only people that have the conches
Oh,
are the
the
people are a very select few that know exactly what they're doing and where they're going, and you.
Right, and they trust us or are incompetent enough to trust us or to not think we might come back.
Well, she gave you the conch.
She let us keep the conch.
Sure, let's keep the conch. But yeah.
Well, we're back in the Maelstrom, boys. What do y'all want to do?
It's been a day.
Wait,
It totally has.
It has literally only been one day. You guys
I
sleep.
go to the hot tub.
yes.
Brent's like, alright, I'm fucking taking my cloak off.
We're aware that there's a giant treasure chamber at some point. It's like somewhere back in the... behind
Yeah.
the throne room, right?
There's a million giants between us and it, though.
Yeah, and last time we asked and asked and asked and asked and asked about getting something from her, and it was like not gonna happen.
Yeah. I can turn into a mouse, which I'm pretty sure a giant wouldn't even notice. Can drag a bag of holding to that room, load up, and come back and meet you guys in the hot tub in like half an hour.
I can turn us all invisible.
Yeah, and then
like-
we could all die. That sounds like a great.
Yeah.
Oh, my
I
fucking
think-
group
I'm not
is
doing
so
any of that.
chaotic, murder hobo,
go-
steal
I think
shit.
I
We go
actually,
up to
I
the
didn't
queen.
pull my bow.
All right, guys, we're back at our allies' castle. What do you want to do? Well, I could turn into a mouse and then go steal a bunch of shit. I could totally make us all invisible. Let's rob the fuck out of our ally here.
Alright, I think we go to the queen like, hey queen, we fucked up. Yeah, I know, it's been like less than a day. Oops, also we lost the coin. Can you send us back? Can we have a do-over? Do-over?
I mean, like I said, I've seen the coin enough that I could totally, and we have the drawing at the Harpers, and basically we're just gonna explain to the queen that she needs to meet with the Lord's Alliance, and that like we'll be good, and we have the Harpers who can come and join in that conversation, who are totally wicked powerful mages.
I don't... Why do they need to talk to the Lord's Alliance? Just because they kind of trust them?
Yeah, kind of.
Alright.
Let's go kill Grud, whatever her name is.
Fuck everything, we're going to
Let's go
Groundhog.
so way left with this campaign. No, I'm just
Finally, we're going to Groundhog.
All right.
Hey, didn't...
we
some
have,
dudes
look, the
scout it
only way
out
that
for
we can
us?
get out is if we go talk to the queen.
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
So let's get this over.
You guys make your way upstairs. Doosh, doosh, doosh. And you find yourself once again in that kind of main chamber room. You are immediately greeted by guards who do not look happy to see you back so soon, but escort you and offer to escort you to Queen Sarissa.
Yes, thank you.
I'm gonna let Cesare do all that.
And so they kind of, not quite manhandle, but very firmly escort you to the Queen's throne room. And once again, sitting in the throne room, you find Queen Sarissa, you find her uncle, and you find one of her sisters
Ah, fuck.
that was singing the last time you guys came there, sitting in the place of Iemreth.
Is the one that came in to warn her first last time? Or is it the other one?
It is the one that came in to warn her first. That is correct.
Wait, what warning? Is that warning her that we were like
That
traitors
y'all
or
were
something?
They all were.
Or one of us dying?
No, I agree. I really wish we'd grabbed Shalvus and had
Yeah.
him and no maids
It
with
just
us
brought
right
him
now.
and then stabbed him inside the thing.
Thank you guys for hanging tight with us through some technical difficulties here. I literally just had a graphics card die. Golly, I'm blown out. I just had a graphics card die on me. So that's okay. I've got 2 graphics cards. So let's see if hopefully that will fix some issues. That is going to make some things more difficult, like combat screens, but man, it has just been a whole lot of shit as of late for tech issues, but I think we're back up and running.
Not saying that it doesn't suck that your graphics card died, but you're like, I don't know how I'm gonna live with 2 screens. This is gonna be the end of the world.
It is for the stream setup.
I know,
Yeah.
I know it's annoying.
You realize I'm like running. I'm streaming and answering people on Twitch,
Oh, for
and
sure,
I'm
sure.
game mastering a game. I got shit going on, son.
That
So-
sounds exhausting.
It's a lot
It
going
does
on.
sound like the epitome of first world problems, though.
Yeah, it probably is. Phil just got back from Indy, and I'm like, I lost a graphics card today.
I mean, that's worth like half of what my whole computer is worth, so
Well,
I
I
feel
mean,
for you.
yeah. The long
me
story
too.
short version is I built a brand new computer. It was amazing. It was beautiful. I put dual 980s in there for my 3 monitors. And I downloaded a game called Sword Coast Legends because I was super pumped to play another Dungeons & Dragons game. And apparently Sword Coast Legends blows up 980s because they don't throttle. So about 2 weeks after getting my building from scratch, my brand new computer that I was planning out for forever, Sword Coast Legends blows out one of my graphics card, and I couldn't get it exchanged in time to be under the brand new one. I'm just thrilled that EVGA was able to replace it, but they sent me a refurbished card, and now I think that refurbished card is given out, which is probably why it was refurbished in the first place. So, all right.
You didn't do a great job of making that long story short.
That is the short version. Trust me. All right.
Well, aside from that, how was Sword Coast Legends?
It was a piece of shit that blew out my 980. Does that answer your question?
Sure does. Moving on.
That's all right. Let's go lie to a queen.
Yep.
So, I don't know where I stopped in the stream, but ultimately you guys were being pushed and hurtled and herded to the queen's throne room. And so when she sees you, she kind of sits up. Oh, you're back so soon. That's wonderful news. Tell me, what have you learned of the coin?
We have made great success. We found the devious people who know of the devious nature of the devious coin. And they are in Loudwater, the village to the south of here. These people have great powers, and they did not want to share their secrets with us. They tried, by strength of arm and magic, to steal the conch from us so that they could rain havoc upon your kingdom and the peaceful, or at least secure Maelstrom. But rather than let them have their way with this place, we returned to you to report on the success that we have had and consult your wisdom on how we should proceed.
So you're telling me that you are unable to find any information with the coin? Where is it now?
No, we found the location of the people who know the information of the coin. That is, it is no
So is it
longer
their
an unknown
coin?
unknown. It is now a known unknown.
We're not sure if it's their coin, but they are unwilling unless we give them the conch to share where that coin comes from. And instead of giving them an entrance to your kingdom, we chose to not do that.
You see, my dear niece, that these small folk cannot be trusted. They cannot even be trusted with their own kind. What kind of creatures are unable to work with their own?
I'm sorry, is it not your kind right now that are bickering amongst themselves because your king is gone, and now they're throwing slurs towards your queen, saying that she is not the rightful ruler? Is that not what's going on in your court, your kind, arguing with your kind?
Yeah,
Yes,
kind of got
my
that.
kind argues with my kind. But if you're going to throw stones, by golly, I'll throw stones too.
Oh snap, somebody just shattered your glass house.
Please, Uncle, I'm sure it is reasonable, and if some of them had been searching for a conch, that is troubling news. What can you tell me of the small folk looking to gain access to the Maelstrom? They're probably the worst kind, dear sister. Not to be
Correct.
trusted. I agree with our uncle here that these small folk have done nothing but lose this coin, I can see.
Oh, we've done nothing. We've only found out that there's 14 towns that it doesn't come from. We found out that it's a gambling chip, not a coin. And we also found out that we have Harpers.
Now what
that
leads do we have, my queen? We've lost the coin.
But
Right.
it's not
We have a
lost, we know
drawing
where
of
it
it.
is.
It is
And I
troubling.
can redraw it for you.
Please, give me a moment. My sister's words and my uncle's words are true, and it does worry me that you have returned so soon after losing the lead to my mother's death. But for protecting this court, you have my gratitude. Please, tell me of the ones that were seeking entrance here to the Maelstrom. This is something that I find very troubling.
They are a
Remove
group.
the Zentarim.
The Zentarim.
The Zentarim.
Sorry, Zentarim.
I have not heard of this Zentarim.
In our land, there are several factions. You know of one, which hopefully you will eventually begin talks with, the Lord's Alliance. They are fairly good people who want to help our citizens. The others are the Harpers. They work in the magics. They also tend to help others. And then there's the Zentarim. And as your sister said, they are the worst kind. They make their dealings in backstabbing, blackmailing, extortion. And all they want is a way to get here. And through that, they know that there's a conch. They have a wizard who's extremely powerful in their pocket and will do whatever they ask. They're the ones who know where the gambling chip comes from.
She's kind of sitting back, taking it all in. If you gave them this conch, if you gave them the conch, would they be truthful in telling you the origins of this chip, this coin, this goose of gold?
As with your people, some of our people are benevolent, others are not. We have had dealings with this group before, and they have not been true to their word, more often than they have been. It is a possibility,
to me like
but
that
no
is
more.
a common denominator. Please, sister.
I'm sorry, were you
As
the
you
one
were
who-
saying,
Is this advisor here the one who recommended the dragon as a member of your court?
and you could see her stand up. How dare you insult me in the throne room of my father? Sister, calm. These are allies. I will not sit idly by while they spit in my face. Have you no honor? You are no leader of giants.
And you see, men, and I point towards the uncle, your kind bickering amongst themselves. Now, dearest queen, I do not have time for this, and you surely do not have time for this. Every second that we waste is a second that your father is not here. These people, yes, may give us the information that we need, but to give them the conch, which is an entrance to your kingdom, is not something I want to do at all.
Now, I have a suggestion. I believe that this group is most interested in their own self-interest. They will come here and likely plan to take what they want from you. But perhaps we could lay a trap for them. Allow them to come here via the conch. Do you have the ability to restrict entrance to certain individuals or from certain individuals? Or do any in the presence of the conch who blow it?
That is
Be
not how
transported.
the magics work. Should the conch fall into their hands, they would gain entrance to the maelstrom. Queen, I am sure you are aware of that.
I might have a solution. It involves you taking us back to Everlund. And trusting one more of our kind.
You have my ear.
The Harpers, the ones that I told you work with the magic. We may not be able to put them in a trap through the conch, but there's nothing saying that we can't put a trap around the destination. If Crowan from the Harpers, who I truly trust, would trust with my life, can do such, then I think it wise to bring him here, let him lay his roost, and then hopefully bargain with this interim to give us the information for your mother's killer, and let them blow the conch. And when they arrive, they fall into Crowan's trap, and you can do whatever you want with them. However, that would leave us transportationless to your realm.
My queen, I have yet another offering here if you truly plan to go around with this setting a trap. Perhaps a new conch could be made. And
Is it possible to prepare a conch that would deny entrance to
Oh, like a broken record.
casters?
Why not just make a conch that teleports them to the middle of the ocean? Like, not here, but the bad part of the ocean.
Because we want to know what they
and
know.
you see him kind of smile. You see, the small folk are cunning. For I very much am in agreement that perhaps new magics could be placed. It would take some time, but we could arrange that.
Yeah, man.
How
The
much
honeypot.
time, Uncle? A 10-day. I can't
If you could do
wait
it in
that
5.
long. If they have the information, we should let them come. You are the queen. I am merely your advisor.
I cannot overstate how dangerous these people are. I
Nor can I.
strongly advise you do not trust them. I know you have known us for only a short time, but we have, at a minimum, rid your court of dragons, and that should get by us some level of trustworthiness in your eyes. This group will lie and murder. They have taken our companion's sister hostage to force him to do their bidding. They are not good folk, and they will not deal honestly with you. Only if they are within your power will you be able to trust what they have to say. And only to preserve themselves.
I agree.
She stands up. What say you? And she looks at the four of you. You know them the best. I do not wish to wait, but I will trust and defer to your judgment. Oh, sister, maybe they are just making a big kerfuffle about this. Maybe they're just traitors. You think they would just be traitors? Yes. I'm sure they're not that dangerous. Look at this lot.
Oh, not that dangerous. You see, when we said
And you see the
backstabbing-
uncle kind
There
of...
we go.
The uncle kind of... Then he kind of looks over at you, and he kind of like shakes his head down.
So, listen.
What is your decision? I will leave it in your hands.
We will bring him here. You have 2 giant guards. Stand by. We'll duke it out. Don't kill the black one. He has the answers.
The
And leave
black
him
one?
with me in a room.
It's
The
And I'll
darker
get
one.
the answers you need.
more like an aubergine, but
And you see the uncle look over at her, and he points to the skin. All right. If you want to give the conch, then we can handle our defenses here. I'm quite certain of that. Yes, sister, we are certainly capable of defending ourselves. Give them the conch. I say it is a good way for you to take over your stewardship, to prove to the other giants that you are not just willing to work with the small folk. It would go a long way to lending credence over the court that
Hey, Cody.
you are willing to handle the small folk that need handling.
trying to see if the sister is intentionally giving bad advice or if she's just a dumb giant bitch. But
Something
I don't know that it
is weird
tends-
about this.
Oh, yeah.
She,
A giant
if
underground
their
underwater.
deal is backstabbing and blackmailing and extortion and all that, she wants the throne, so she'll use them to help her get the throne. That's an obvious ploy. I don't say that.
Y'all can't metagame all this too much while you're in front of them.
Well, okay.
Yeah, this bitch is clearly in on it.
Phil has worked that out. Cesare has not, because he's surrounded by giants. My queen, your uncle is a wise man. We are strangers in your land, but the ways of the small folk and the small folk's world are numerous, vast, and complicated. I beseech you to defer to your uncle and to allow us to set this trap, to make this play, so that we can find answers and do away with this threat to your rule and our lands.
Not to mention, it will show your kind that you're worthy of being their queen. Your intelligence will be high.
There's one flaw with this plan. If we give them the conch, how will we return to
We're giving them
this trap?
the uncle's
Giving
advice
them a
was to
broken
give a
trap.
fake conch.
All we need to do is get close and blow the damn thing, and we'll let everything else settle here in the maelstrom.
So we'll just dogpile them and blow the conch simultaneously?
Yes,
I love
and
this plan.
our giant guards will whip their asses.
What's the hey, Kenny, what's the deal with your army? You got an army or something? You giant wizards? Got the Magus Corps or something?
Madam,
We are certainly capable of defending our castle, though defending it from the inside and... Well, hell, defending it from the outside is not something we've had to do in centuries.
So let's
But
go
this
with
time
the...
we have foreknowledge of the attack. It's a planned attack. It's a trap.
Okay, so you're getting a lot of advice coming at all kinds of different directions here, Queenie. So we got the guy who likes to stab, we got a smelly dwarf who has yet to have a good idea, and we have the man who, while very formidable in battle, primarily relies on his fists and strength of arms. Maybe you listen to the guy who is the master tactician. Why don't we listen to your uncle and create a magical conch that is a trap that teleports them into a magical trap of some kind? Let us wait a 10 day, we will kill these guys for you, we will find more information in the time being. Maybe get a couple of magic items for ourselves. Yes,
No,
are we all in
I
agreement?
don't want to wait a 10-day.
Damn
If
it.
my father is still alive, and I know he is, we can't afford a 10-day. No, we can't. We will trap them here.
With my plan, we could have him in here next day.
Bran is not wrong. But
Brand's like fucking FedEx of delivering bad guys.
Wait, hold on. Can we just, like, swap? Do you have an extra conch kicking around? We'll just, like, trade it with one of your lords who's hanging out here, and we can bring it back in 15 minutes. We can get this done.
She looks over, and her sister goes and holds her conch up. Thank you, Mirren, for being so generous. And she walks forward and reaches out with the conch.
I mean,
how soon can you be ready?
How dangerous is this foe?
Well, if you're going to drop us off in Loudwater, it will only take us moments before we're captured by this interim and forced to blow the horn. And we may not even arrive with them. They may take it from us forcefully.
Cesare, didn't you say you can make us invisible?
oh, hell yes.
This won't.
Hey, Shalvus, peekaboo! Ooh.
Yes.
Exactly!
Yes.
That's what I want to do!
This is the one time that I'm like, I'm so glad my players are fucking murder hobos. This is the best plan you've ever had since you decided you wanted to poison Guh with a cow.
A lot of
Brandon, you are a fucking mastermind.
Checkmate!
We could be ready in a day.
Wonderful.
Okay. Calling
One
in
day.
calling in your giant lords might not be a bad idea, though. Maybe get a couple fire giants standing ready.
Yes, a wonderful one named Hexmalog might do.
Hexmalog? What do you want from Hexmalog? He's a brute, a barbarian.
What is what?
I would not wish him upon my worst enemies.
Well, these are your worst.
Nor would I.
Enemy of my enemy and all that.
Shut up, Malachi! I'm trying to bring him here for you to slit his throat.
This would not be the place for that. Even Malachi recognizes that getting a big melee with all the giant lords and then me jumping a giant would probably go badly.
Battle Royale!
It is agreed then.
Can we stay here for a day?
Of course.
Perfect.
Alright.
In the meantime, we'll discuss how we will get Shalvus to show up.
And she calls in 2 guards. These are our guests. These small folk are to be treated with the utmost kindness. Do not let anyone disrupt their evening. Do you understand me? Yes, Your Highness. Yes, Your Highness.
Is there any way that I can get a word with the uncle?
I mean, you're about to be escorted out of the room.
Sir, a moment of your time simply to discuss our strategy. Would you take a sidebar with me? Your lordship?
Of course. He kind of stands up. You can hear his back creaking and everything. I desire to stretch my legs a bit, Queen. Perhaps you would leave me with the intelligent one. As you wish. And so the guards kind of look over at you guys, and they kind of like step aside and point like, all right, guys, go ahead and start marching to the room. And Uthor steps up to you, Cesare, and slaps you on the back really hardly and kind of says, let's go for a stroll.
Indeed. So we do that. Uthor.
Hold on. So the 3 of you guys are kind of escorted down and through the room, and ultimately you guys end up kind of in that main hallway where you have the giant guests rooms and the more accommodating rooms for you guys. You're escorted all the way in there, and the door is shut behind you to give you guys a chance to kind of talk and have a moment to yourself to do any type of planning. Is there anything you guys want to do while you're in this room and Cesare is taking his walk with Uther?
No, but if they'll let us bathe in the hot tub, then good to go.
See, this serves multiple purposes. And I'm going to link in chat here. Shit, where'd it go? No, go ahead. I'm going to load something into chat, but it'll take me a second.
Okay. What is it that you wish to speak about, Bod?
Uthor, I wish to know your candid opinion. How fair? What is this? What is the state of the court?
Troublesome. With the ordning broken, I am afraid that... Well, I am worried. And I have lived many years to be so worried. I have, as you small folks say, thick skin on such matters, but there is trouble brewing, and something that I can't quite put my finger on.
Will the forces, will our queen be able to present a united front when our enemies arrive?
I understand your question. Yes, I believe so. Even if there are those that would see other rulership, that would not be an opportune moment.
The rot of treachery can run deep, Uther. The dragon, the worm that was in your midst. I fear that it is simply a symptom of a larger curse upon the land. I think we must keep our eyes open and our minds clear. We do not know what new events, what new cards will enter this game.
We? Yes, it is my responsibility to watch over and advise the throne room. I advise you to be focused on your friends. I do not know how thick the skin is on you small folk, but I doubt very much it would be able to protect you from the crushing blow of a club or the slice of a flame-lit sword. Good evening. And he kind of bows and continues on. He kind of nods at two guards who kind of step up to you and offer to escort you back to the room.
Yeah, that's kind of a conversation ender.
So, you guys are all back in the room. What are y'all
All right.
planning out? What do you want to do?
I've sketched out a diagram of what I'd like Bran to do when he goes after Shalvus here. This is a precise image.
I can't see that. It'll screw everything up here for the stream. But
Okay, it's a picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger from Predator covered in mud.
I might have seen that movie previously. Just like the eyes opening.
Just the eyes, yeah.
So, gentlemen, there's something that we haven't thought of.
Should one of us stay here to prepare something in the room?
I trust that Uther will take care of that.
That is not what I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is the Zipperer being completely cooperative.
That does not seem like their style.
I understand that, but this is something new to them. The only way that they can gain trust is to be actual trustworthy. My problem that I'm thinking is that they actually have the coin. Shalvus knows where it came from. If he thinks a little hard, he might figure out why we needed to know what the information was behind it. And if that's the case, he only has 24 hours to figure it out. But if he does, we might have a problem.
I have an
Queen's
idea.
sister seems to fairly want them to come here. I'm not sure why, but that is also something that we have to worry about.
Okay, I have a question. This is about scrying. If I cast scrying on Rivermire, for example, will it encompass a whole conversation that he's having? Or will I only see Rivermire and only hear what Rivermire says?
The whole area, the whole room.
Okay.
Like, you get to see what that person's doing. It might be fuzzy, like, it might sound muffled with who he's talking to. It might come in completely crystal clear.
Yeah, it's like all the Harry Potter
Okay.
stuff.
Okay, so here's my plan. We know Shalvus is an asshole. And if he doesn't think he's being watched, he might let his guard down a little bit. I could stay back with the Queen and cast scrying on you, and you could tease out some of their motivations while he doesn't believe he's being observed. And maybe we could get him to incriminate himself a little bit before we bring him here.
What if you scry on me?
I plan to scry you, so that he doesn't know that I was being scried.
Also, because he has an anti-scrying amulet.
Well, that's why we're talking about it in advance, and I'm not just going to try and spring this on you.
And a wizard that could potentially know that scrying was happening? Is that how magic works? I don't understand this game.
I was thinking about just going invisible and blowing that conch right by him. Not even having a conversation.
Yeah, we'd have to grab him. Like, you would have to grab him, and then I'd have to grab you, and somebody would blow the thing. But the Rivermire's point of Shalvus's, poisony silver tongue is something to consider. Yeah, how does he know so much about this shit? Like, how does he know about the conch and that there's magic stuff here? They have had connections with the Lord's Alliance in the past. I'm gonna say all this in character. They've had connections with the Lord's Alliance in the past. Why are we to believe that someone within his court does not have connections with the Zintarim? Uthar had told me unreservedly that something is still not right. I do not think we have dug out all of the treachery within his court. We must tread carefully.
Cesare, I think that comes down to sisterly love. I think that one sister is completely jealous, not the other is queen right now. Now, I not know what their family was like when they were younger, but as of what I've seen from now, it only gives me hints. However, I think Brand's right. I think having zero conversation with Shalvus before he gets here is the best choice. But I don't think having one of us stay behind is a good choice. We now have two conches. Isn't that correct?
That is correct.
If nothing else, you and I go in, or me and Malachi can go in and make sure that everything goes right after you and Brand grab him and build a conch while you're invisible. Then we follow up. That way, he's God's in front of him and God's behind him. Shalvus is our target here, guys, not the mage. And honestly,
We don't
I
want
don't
the
think we
mage.
could fight the mage. I think the
We
mage
could
would
fight
kill
him.
everybody.
We just would have trouble not dying. Yes.
Very well. The simple plans are the best.
Bring him here and see what happens.
Bring him here and fuck him up. That is the game plan. And then Cesare puts his hand in.
I will kill him. Maybe not here,
Eh?
but I will kill him.
Yeah.
Come on.
Go, Power
Come on,
Rangers!
Oh. Yeah, okay.
And that is where we are going to end for tonight. So, some technical difficulties. Man, a lot of technical difficulties. I've got one working graphics card, and I'm still seeing flickering here. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Hopefully, we can get that nice and cleaned up and resolved. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, we are streaming the game on Thursday, I think. Is that correct?
Hopefully.
Is that what we're doing?
Hope.
We are unavailable Wednesday. If we're probably going to be streaming the game Thursday or probably bust. So hopefully we can stream the game on Thursday and we'll continue on. And we're getting really, really, really close to some really fun bits here in Storm King's Thunder in this campaign. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for hanging out. I think they do, Shindoku. I tell you what, guys. Somebody on the stream asked if the party has a name. Do you want to tell them what the name is?
The party of extraordinary size.
Party of extraordinary size, whatever. It was terrible. That's the bottom line. Uncreative
I love
and
that
very
name.
phallic.
None of us even ever agreed on that. Like, it's just that's what Cesare started calling us, and we were
Yeah.
just like, yeah, I don't care.
Because it implies that there's a lot more of us than the one you've seen.
Okay.
It's a magnum title for our magnum party.
We will be back, and I got really incredibly exciting news. If you don't know, I'm going to have an opportunity to play one of the very first games ever of Starfinder. So on Tuesday the 13th, I am going to be playing in a game of Starfinder with Will Jones from Encounter Roleplay, Ted from Nerdarchy, which is going to be incredible, and Jonathan Pruitt, who I just had the pleasure of driving down to Austin to hang out with WebDM. So Jonathan Pruitt from WebDM is going to be in this game, along with Owen Casey Stevens, who is, huge he's done all kinds of games. He's been involved with Paizo for years. He does some freelance work, and he's one of the writers and creators of Starfinder. So incredibly excited about that opportunity. Mark your calendars now. Tuesday, June Tuesday, June 13th, and we're going to be doing it on Will's Twitch stream, which is twitch.tv/encounter roleplay. So go check out his stream, go subscribe to him. Will's a great guy. He has a kick-ass stream over there, and you guys can catch me over there on the 13th. So that's all I got to say. Thank you guys for being my brave adventurers this week yet again, and I look very much forward to killing you off in the in the coming closure of the campaign. So is there anything else you guys want to say to the stream?
You can find me on Twitter at butts what's the what.
Butts, what's the what? Brand, anything?
Thanks for DMing, Cody.
Thank you, man. All right, guys, we're out of here. Thanks for hanging out with us. I appreciate it. I've got technical stuff to solve, so we will catch you guys next week, hopefully.